We recording?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You heard me? This shit so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess, I don't know, bro. It's just the love of it's the thrill of it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And then
ain't no love in the heart of the city.
Being in the city, dog, like, you know, being in this bitch, dog, is like, you fucking with a bunch of awesome people.
Facts.
So it's awesome people fucking with awesome people. Everybody in this bitch got that specific thing about them that make them attractive to a broad.
Oh, you do.
Like, think about it. New Orleans niggas everywhere else.
Let me introduce right quick. What episode is it?
11 or 12?
I think it's 11. Let me double check right quick.
So one, we got fucked up on the numbers. We kept rolling the numbers, but we didn't drop Nesby.
Yeah, we ain't dropping Nes.
So that's how we get to 12. So technically...
Fuck it, we're going to keep the numbers going then. Fuck it. We on 11? No, last one was Purple Monkey, 11. This 12.
Yeah, this 12.
Yo. We live in Music Box Studio. I'm Benjamin. This is my homie.
KP.
You heard me? And we in episode 11. You heard me?
12.
It's 12?
12.
Fuck. I'm still fucking up the fucking number. I just looked at this shit to make it. We got a very, very, very special guest today. I've been trying to get this dude. He one of the most busiest people in the city. You heard me? I'm about to come at his top, but he don't even know why. And we about to get into all that. Everybody get into everything. Introduce yourself, dog.
Big Larry, the big boy, big world, big ladders, Hot 8 official.
Big boy.
Yeah.
The big boys in the building. Man.
See, all right. We're going to get right down to the nitty gritty. You heard me? We ain't even cutting no corners, you did. When I think of brass bands in New Orleans, right? I think of Hot 8 and I think of Rebirth, all right? On our last podcast, we had some band heads in, and they was always expressing how much they love Hot 8, how much they love Rebirth, right?
Right.
And I always said that the hottest motherfuckers in the city, for some reason, don't always come back and build that infrastructure where I felt like should be built off of just being hot as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome memory.
True
I forgot all of that
shit.
But I'm back now.
See, so I always was like, the reason why we always get caught up in looking like a bunch of Indians is because, one, in the city, as a Hot 8 and as a Rebirth, you know you the man, but you don't want to beat your chest and be like, oh, I'm the man. But in order for us to progress, even in the brass band world, a group of people under you have to be like, look, that's the man. This the man. We're gonna follow behind them.
Right,
you gotta have a leader, and
you gotta hear from certain people.
But in New Orleans, we so under attack from each other, right? That we scared to beat them. We scared to, even when we the man, we know how dangerous it is to declare that we the man.
Right.
Because that means everybody coming for your hat after that.
Right.
There ain't no legion of niggas coming under you being like, oh yeah, come on, we gonna make you better. Them motherfuckers like, no, bitch, we won't be the best.
Right.
We come from where you come from. So I understand why they didn't really do it, but y'all the man. Like in this era, everybody look at y'all like fucking, like how motherfuckers look at Cash Money, Baby, and Lil Wayne.
Right.
You heard me?
I wouldn't go that deep.
I would.
Yeah.
He right. Like I said, if you look at the brass band shit, the big dogs, the OGs, 1 and 2.
Ain't no other states, ain't no other cities, ain't no other niggas that you gonna be able to go get and say, all right, I'm comparing them to a Hot 8 or Rebirth. You did like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, so in that respect, I think y'all already the man, and I would like to see that infrastructure built even through with them children, even if they went back and just started with the children, and been like, look, the younger brass bands, look, we're gonna get behind y'all, because at the end of the day, it's gonna build that nice infrastructure to a point where y'all gonna have Hot 8 productions, Rebirth productions, where y'all ain't y'all sitting back sending the latest and greatest out. You know what I'm saying? And y'all signing them. So you making money off of them and you showing them how to make money at the same time. Everybody eat. And that's the most beautiful thing. How you feel about that?
Bro, I believe that's the reason why I, started this big boy campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why I really like entertain any of it. hearing this. Because fuck it. Like a lot of them, you know, they foot still in there, dog, but they not thinking like that.
Right.
They not thinking like, man, we could start our own this. I'll do this, and you know what I'm saying? Like at one point, like the union, right? The musicians union, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hope, you know what I'm saying? We don't get no flag for them, but you know, they was trying to unionize like everything we do as brass bands, and like every musician don't have access to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like from brass bands to like
don't have the access, or we just not paying for the access?
We not paying for the access because you could do better on your own.
Yeah, we see the better.
They want you to play one. They want you to be one way. Put it like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But so it's not for us.
It's different.
It's not for us.
It's different styles of brass bands.
It's just not for us, like you said.
It's not for the ones that's on the streets. The ones like Hot 8.
And that's why I feel like y'all got y'all finger on the pulse.
Doing they fucking own the thing.
They probably don't even know. You're like they don't know what you know. Like one thing about being in the streets, and that's why I never really like all the other media outlets. I don't know them. I'm really outside.
Right.
Y'all really be outside. So y'all have y'all fingers on the pulse. So when they think it's one thing, it's something else because they only gauging the shit off of what happened in the past.
But don't get me wrong, like the musician union is good. It's good for musicians. Is everybody should get in the musician
But is it for us?
For the future?
No.
But I don't really know nothing about that union. Like I've been doing this shit like 20 years now.
So look, you started the podcast, and when you first started doing it, it was on, you know, the kids out here just running wild.
Right.
Because we didn't put no type of structure into the game.
We didn't leave a structure. We didn't come, like, for my generation, I'm going to speak.
So that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like y'all had a muscle and a power to build that type of union.
To a certain extent, because you still, like you say, we still in a race against each other. Like, people still, like, they finding ways to hate on each other.
Right.
You get it? Like,
yeah, once you inside this game, it's...
Yeah, it's like, it's so crazy, bro. Like, it's like dudes will find something to hate on you about that, some shit that you give to them. Like, I'm an open book with certain shit. So, certain things I'm not hiding. I'm going to answer to the best I could of my ability and really, like, explain to you how this really go in aspect of a musician coming up in the game, not in the aspect of me being in Hot 8. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have to rep that.
Right.
It's proven. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the work we put in. You feel what I'm saying? So we ain't gotta rep that. But when you go to repping that, it's just, dog, the hate is crazy. It's like,
so how
it's
do
like
we...
they gotta hear it from, they gotta hear it from somebody who, like, shitting on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait, like, they starstruck about this person, so they're gonna fuck with that person more than they're gonna fuck with the person next to them.
Right.
That's all the way down to the hustle game. Like, your partner been told you about a idea to make money, a job venture, or investment venture, but you don't believe him because he right here with you. But you gotta see the dudes gotta be doing it first.
Right.
You heard me? Like, you gotta show them more than tell them.
I think y'all proven. I think y'all a proven product when it comes to that. And anybody that is a naysayer, they just sleeping on. I can't see how you could sleep on them. Like really. Like I can't. I understand what you're saying from inside, but that's what we were talking about when we were talking about rappers. Like rappers look at the industry from inside the art. As a consumer of the art, I'm looking at it from the outside of the art. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing it from a whole different perspective. So I go to the second line, I see how the bands make certain bands make people feel. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the power of people and the word of mouth. And when people say this, that's how I find the hottest rappers. What they saying, what them children saying. Like, I'm at the Pokes. So the children like, he the hottest one. That's how I got on Ride 49. They were like, Ride 49 the hottest. And you want to listen to some Ride, see what the children listening for. And that's what happened with y'all. Like so.
And that's what I seen with Lil, man. Shout out to Ride 49. Like, shout out to Young, man. Young doing this fucking thing.
What you think about that whole movement?
Ride 49?
Yeah.
Me personally, it's awesome. Like, I love to see somebody from the city put on. What I hate to see is how quick the city could turn on them once they get bigger.
But you don't think that's how we work?
That's how we work for real. Like all right.
As soon as you blew up, you got the crowd that fucks with it, and then immediately you had the crowd that.
See, like here at home, I don't know why they feel like you owe them that. For real. Like they take that all the way to.
You don't think you do?
Huh?
You don't think you do?
To a certain extent, but the way they treat it on the way. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta be. It's like, all right, they'll put Lil One up if he ain't get that feature.
Right.
What if he ain't get Lil One was dropping hot shit way before that feature.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lil One, this dog, he got it. Mm-hmm. It's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go back to what I always say: good music like good dope, bro. Good music like good weed. Good music is like good food. Good anything. Like it is undeniable. If it's good, you gonna fuck with that. Mm-hmm. Period. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy that you gotta go and fuck with other people to really.
See, I understand it because you gotta think about it like this. Think about it like this. We know how good gumbo is, right? But you go to China, you hear me? You gonna have to talk them into eating gumbo. You hear me? Like you gonna have to let somebody taste it. And then that person will be like, man, you ate that shit them boys got, man. They from New Orleans, man. They got some shit named gumbo. And then the 3 China people gonna come and eat some gumbo. And next thing you know, 50 motherfuckers gonna be coming and eat some fucking gumbo because of word of mouth. Well, I understand, like, well, I have a real, like, I'm into marketing. So when I talk about this city, I look at the marketing programs of all these rappers, all of the people that's behind them. I look at how they market, and then I look at how they present it to the world, right? New Orleans is a real, we always talk about this, New Orleans is a real laboratory because it have a big city mind where it's trendy, but it's a small, 400,000 motherfuckers. Yeah. So it's easy to dictate different culture trends here and then apply it to the world method. So when they talking about the new age rappers, they don't know how to market them. All right. So they looking at a Rob, they really just throwing shit against the wall and see what stick. Really. You hear me? And now you have that voice from New Orleans again. After a passing of a BTY youngin who could have been the next one to take that torch because he was the one who was using that internet and the money and the bravado to really push that internet thing.
And it was the energy too, like
the energy was undeniable.
The energy.
Well, Rob had that same. And it's not the same energy, but it's a energy. It's like a synergy.
It's just
something about
it's the energy for what they do.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
B2Y, Rob, that's 2 different people, but what they put into it.
And they represent 2 different generations of people.
Yeah, you gotta put that into that. Like
Rob, he not really lyrical. He not like your lyrical miracle, but he know how to say those words and those phrases that could just stick with you on.
He got a unique voice that's definitely catchy. Like I said, when I heard him the first time on Sirius radio, I knew that was a New Orleans voice.
Talk.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what he reminded me? You know who he reminded me of? Strictly? Slim. That boy got a voice just like Slim.
See, as many Slim comparisons that he get, I always ran to the side of Fiend. I don't know why.
Listen,
it's just that.
But look, think about it.
Deep voice.
Fiend, you talking about International Jones, Fiend?
Yeah,
International Jones. But Fiend always had a deep voice. I believe in the beginning of his career, he didn't really know how to finesse that. So he was just screaming at the beginning.
But he was singing a lot of shit too because he had some shit. He had a lot of shit that like even on that C Murder Life or Death. He was singing on that shit. I forgot the tune, but Fiend was like, that's why he kind of reminded me so much of Fiend, because
Right.
Fiend started being more
His-
he started
It took
becoming
a minute
himself.
to grow
Yeah,
into
and
it.
using
You know
his
what I'm
voice
saying?
for them slurs
Yeah,
and them different
yeah.
hooks for them no
And
limit.
It took him a
and that
minute
shit
to find
dope
his
as
shit.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like, not saying that it should be like,
Right.
I like Mr. Want.
Right.
You hear me? But that's you
when-
can tell that's where he wanted to be.
Yeah,
He
that's when
just
he
didn't know
found
how
the
to-
power
back
of his
then-
voice. You did.
Back then, like, you had to be like a hype hard ass nigga. Like, you know, that's how they was take. That shit was so hype. But now, you could be a cool lady. You could make that shit like really. You could make it hype just being yourself. You know what I'm saying?
What part of the city you from?
Uptown.
How you feel like being from Uptown scope the way you see things in the city?
What you mean?
Meaning,
Like,
The first time he asked me the question, I was on the same shit. But now that I done heard the question consistently, I know what the fuck you talking about.
right. Say it again.
You got to
Alright.
break it down.
all right.
Because
Break
what
it
you
down
looking
for
for,
me. Yeah,
he
break it
don't
down.
get
He
it
gonna
down.
get into it. He gonna get into it. Trust me, he gonna get into it. All right. All right. Every part of the city is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you feel like you being from Uptown? Do you feel like y'all look at the city different than people downtown, or people from the West Bank, or people from the East?
Most deaf.
In what ways you might think?
We them niggas.
That's what we been waiting for.
Real
See,
talk.
You the first nigga to stand on that shit.
There ain't nothing realer than the Uptown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, like everywhere else, they got their little, you know, dislikes and little whatever people
we
about. But
recording,
like,
right?
come on, man.
All right.
Come on, man.
Talk good
The
shit.
realest that ever did it was an Uptown nigga. We right there in the middle of all that shit.
That's the answer you've been looking for,
See.
We
bitch.
in the middle. Listen, we in the middle. Like, I'm Central City Uptown, so I'm very in the middle.
Yeah, so he definitely know what you're talking about.
Feel what I'm saying? Like, they're in the middle of all that shit. You talk about them projects, but you don't talk about them blocks in between. There's a lot of blocks in between.
And them ports.
You heard me? Like, certain niggas live half a block radius is what they had.
Right.
And you can't, like, listen, Uptown ain't no ducking nothing. You gotta go through shit to get to shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, ain't too much, like, it's a circle, but you still gotta
Yeah.
take that, you still gotta take that left and that quick right and all that. It's no straight shots, like, most of it's few of them, but not, like, you gotta,
I see what you're saying.
see what you get me? Like, you can't duck nothing, like, everybody know everybody, really.
So as long as you've been Uptown, they always had some type of active beef going on, or can you remember a time Uptown where everybody was like, you know what I'm saying, like cordial?
I mean, it was always a cordial situation until, like, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's like, back then it was more of a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just, I don't give a fuck who you is. You can't just roll up and just start shooting at somebody else's neighborhood like that. You heard me? It was more family oriented than that. So most of the people that was on these blocks for years and years. I'm talking about their grandmothers, great grandmothers, great grandmothers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you really want to look at it, Uptown is most of the. It's like the retirement side of New Orleans, meaning the people who made off a little decent out of this bitch. They move uptown.
Right.
If you notice, the cost of living uptown is ridiculous.
Right.
Well, that's gentrification,
especially
huh?
when you move across that avenue, St. Charles.
Right.
When you move across that avenue, it's a different ballgame.
Well, you know, back that's we call it Pigeon Town, but it was Pension Town.
No, I ain't talking about that.
Well, you know,
Side.
that went into St.
That's
Charles.
still on the same side with us. I'm talking about on that left side and right side of that avenue when you going this way, and that, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, that shit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit different.
Because you gotta think about it too, how a lot of the transition, once things started getting like real sticky uptown, you started seeing a lot of people buy houses moving to the east.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The east became that transitional place where a lot of them established families was coming to move, and now you see
because
that,
we was trying, like, if you think about it, like, uptown people were still trying, at one time, uptown people were trying to get to the east.
right.
Like, the east was completely
Its own
peaceful
thing.
away
Yeah.
from.
But at that time was uptown unstable living conditions then. At that time when the east was like the place to be.
On the outside looking in, fucking right. Yeah.
Yeah, because you always stayed around what? Joseph and Clara.
That's where I stayed at all my life. So
Yeah, so
I'm right in between the Magnolia Mills, Callio. You know what I'm saying? I'm right in the middle of all that shit.
Right.
Philip and Clara, it's all my little, you know what I'm saying? That's my area.
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. So you was able to you was able to see all that shit firsthand,
Yeah.
and that's one thing I try to get at when I talk to a lot. Cause for some reason we have a lot of people from Uptown on this podcast. They're like I don't know why, but I always felt like I call y'all the most toxic people in the city. You hear me? Like I do. You did like I always say Skip was laughing and shit. You heard? I said these the most like coming from a nigga I'm from Marrero. You hear me? I done been all around the city. You did. And I'm an observer. You heard? So I just watch shit. And I'm like, man, these the most toxic motherfuckers in the fucking city. And I had to ask why. You hear me? I had to ask myself why. And I started looking, and I'm like, all right, they got that fucking poor in the St. Thomas. They get all the shit first. So you get everything first. You get drugs first. You get clothes first. You get fashion first. That shit hit all through so fucking fast through Uptown that these motherfuckers got so much money in a ghetto area that a lot of the children don't really get afforded childhoods a lot of time, or a realistic view on money.
Right.
You did. That's what stunting came from for the whole world.
Fucking
I interviewed Rufus Mack. Rufus Mack said, man, we introduced stunting and they ain't never give it back. And they said like not a whole game built on stunting. He's like, that's some uptown shit. You did, and I had to.
I mean, I would think they really know that. Like,
I don't think they do.
They don't.
I don't think they do because a lot of ways I say Uptown New Orleans ruined the world. You hear? Because
see how I'm being right now, brother. They know.
You was there.
I'm telling you,
say I don't think they do
Yeah,
because you know why?
They know,
look. Even so far, I went so far as to say, look at the New Orleans influence in Miami and Florida right now. If you look at the New Orleans influence in Chicago right now, the only thing we knew Chicago for was Cabrini Green. That was it. After the fucking hurricane and all that fucking New Orleans influence got pushed in fucking Chicago, these motherfuckers became Chief Keef and fucking Lil fucking King Vaughns and Lil Durks and that's all hot boy influence.
Them dudes been in and out the city though.
Yeah, definitely. And Detroit. Like Detroit, Miami.
Dude been in and out the city.
But the hurricane is something that flushed. So it flushed everybody. So you gonna go wherever you was fucking with people in Chicago, y'all going to Chicago. So if you going to Chicago because you got people there and I don't really know nobody, I'm coming with you. And my partner, man, look, we got people in Chicago. All them coming with us. All us going together. We ain't going no one. You ain't attracting no one New Orleans nigga.
Right.
You hear me? We come in packs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
we come in groups of 8.
When we see each other around the world, we instantly relate. We know how to read each other more. Like when you go somewhere, like think about it.
And
well,
then
let's
the main thing is we went to them cities and we didn't get that love, and that's when niggas started doing what they started doing. You did
right? Let me get like Uptown the muscle.
Right.
The way people stunt. The ones who sound like I don't much know how to put this. Who know how to talk like that? I'm talking about in the city of New Orleans. Like certain, like they don't must talk like nobody else talk like an uptown nigga. You know an uptown nigga. I'm lying? You know, you could tell how he talk and how he must carry himself. Like we didn't stunt to put nobody down. We started, cause bitch, we went through a whole lot to get a muscle on this shit that y'all benefiting from as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like we opened, like if it wasn't for an uptown nigga to do that, y'all wouldn't have did that. Dudes to go do that. You know what I'm saying? Like throw block parties for the whole, like really buy, like he wasn't, Babe and them wasn't the only ones doing that shit. That dudes doing that shit. Like anybody, like, you feel me? Like even on a come up, like if me and you partner, us three partners, and we grew up together, like, you know, we on I got something going, you in and out or whatever, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, getting a job, like you don't want, I'm putting in, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it, but I got my partners with me, right?
Right.
Like, we gon' really, like every part that we play, gon' get that done.
Right.
Like we know the facts of that. It's when other people come and infiltrate that
It becomes
sanction.
toxic.
That's when it becomes toxic. So uptown niggas just they let that shit in like that. Like, come on, bitch. Because they already like that towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
I really, as you've been in the city, all has been in the city for a long time. You heard me.
Yeah.
We know all the street shit that go on. We try to stay out of it. You did, like, as much as possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes spill into different courts. You did of our life.
Right.
But one thing I can't say, as long as I've been doing this podcast, just having conversations with people, I always go back to the root of things, and I say, damn, I be looking at Uptown, I be like, if we could fix this shit right here, you hear me?
Right.
The world gonna fucking shake, because a united Uptown is a united downtown, is a united East.
Right.
You hear me? Like when Uptown unstable, the city unstable. You did,
Right,
because they have all those families being unstable. You did, like in conflict with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no peace in the city.
Nowhere.
You did, like ain't no peace in this city.
Like
You
when that
did,
shit
like
get fucked up there, and that little pipeline and all that work get fucked up, and
A bunch of people gonna cry.
man, it's over with for the city.
yes, and that's what we
Because
going
think
through.
about it, when the other ones hurt, where they come at first to come up?
Cause you dealing with
Yeah.
people who you dealing with groups of people who willing to introduce the most amounts of pain. You did, because they done been through shit. You did, they done seen shit. So they about to introduce, you only gonna show the pain that you've been through. You
Right.
did, and that's why people be like, oh, I'm gonna make his mama cry, I'm gonna make this person cry, like, because they want you to cry like they cried. And the pain not gonna go away. You did. So a lot of these conundrums, that's why I like I start on the pulse. You did, and I be talking to the kids and shit, and the kids don't really be having no real problems with each other. You did, like, but once they get involved with the families, you did, and once the families in turmoil, we don't really have the communication no more. We don't really have neighborhoods no more. You did, like, we not neighbors no more. It's like, we so separated. We don't have no type of unity in our neighborhoods no more.
Right.
And I feel like it's important to start, and I know for a fact that the day the conflict uptown really get talked about, not on a federal level, you hear me? Not on no messy shit, you hear me? Just on some street shit. You did, well, people who people respect just get together and be like, look, let's get some money or find a way to try to make some money happen out of these opportunities instead of just killing each other. A lot of conflicts gonna stop, because you know a lot of the blood and shit. And you can't take that type of shit back. You can't take that type of pain back.
Yeah, you can't take no blood back. Like, that's the only thing about that shit. Like, it's like,
and we going through it in the whole city. It's not just Uptown. I'm just talking about Uptown because I just feel like it's such an important part of who we are.
Right.
Yeah, they on a national level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when we make the news, most of the time be them involved or one of them involved on some shit, you did. But downtown not that far. And then you got the East that's just been taken over, you did, because all the conflicts in the East. You did. It's not that the East so bad. It's just that all the you gonna see, like, if everybody got people in the East, you did. So you gonna see somebody And
that's the killer part about
well,
it.
due to the gentrification,
the
can't keep.
gentrification caused
They
that because
they pushed us to the east.
yeah, like
Purposely.
a lot of people,
That has
like
been
Uptown. That's another thing. A lot of people married to that paying rent shit
right.
because people ain't letting you buy that property like that.
Facts.
Real
Facts.
talk, you
And
had
you've
to
been
be
staying there your whole life.
man. Listen, blessings that my grandfather bought the house, passed it down to my grandma. She passed it down to me. Lord rest her soul. Lord rest his soul. But man, mostly everybody they didn't pay. They be paying rent, bro.
Right.
You heard me dealing with slum laws and all that shit. But they so comfortable where they at. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it become a family thing. So them people don't give a fuck how this bitch look on the outside. That walking them people out, that bitch look like a palace. Like, man, that bitch ugly on the outside. But that's what it was. You know, they cool with that. Like it's access to everything. Like you know what I'm saying.
close to everything.
If you uptown, like it's easier to commute. The store right there, like a half a block or a block away. Like even downtown blocks are longer than uptown blocks.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like it's all so intimate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like nobody, like everybody who been uptown, they really been there for a long time because they married to rent and shit because they couldn't buy property up there like that.
Right.
Like not no regular, black person like me and you. Like even if they had the money, some type of way, they feel like it came from something fucked up.
Right.
And they went investigated you, did something.
Make
Did something
sure
to
you
stop
can't
you from
make
fucking
sure you
with that.
can't get that property.
Yeah, boy.
Right.
It was hard. Like it ain't easy to get no property.
And
uptown.
I never really
It's
easy
for a
about
developer because he could offer all this type.
I
of
never
big
really
money.
thought about the rent situation uptown. Well, you have you're gonna have a portion of the people that's on Section 8, right?
Right.
But then you're gonna have a portion of people that's not on Section 8 that still won't
Man, they
stay
got
in these
more
same
people.
areas that's just gotta pay rent, and you got a lot of people that just paying rent.
And that's another thing. That Section 8 shit, that shit ain't easy to get. You gonna be
Right.
on that wait list for like 10 years. Damn
Right.
near.
Right.
Like people been on that shit for years. Like they got people who go to work every day that pay their rent, hard up pay their rent. Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like ain't no fucking Section 8, no program, no nothing. They want their money.
Got to
Right.
get it.
Like you know what I'm saying? They gonna get that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the kids gotta eat. And
They
look,
still got those, you know what I'm saying, those people who do that. And
Right.
who laid that. Like they got some people who stayed uptown and rented so long in the house, the fucking landlord he felt like, man, you had this house so long, I'ma sell it to you for damn minute. I made so much money off you.
I done made 3 times this.
Yeah, man, you could buy this house. This is yours.
right.
Like it wouldn't feel right if somebody else moving this bitch. You know what I'm
And
saying?
look, and I ain't gonna lie, I see that with a lot of the property uptown. Like even when you look at where Purple Rain was at, the ball, that ball not there, because a lot happened with the owners, and
Right.
you got the older owners who been who been owning these buildings for forever and ever, and they
Right.
getting old and they dying and they selling
Right.
it, and the people who buying it, they don't have no real respect for what was there. They just
Right.
had their own vision on what they about to bring to the block.
But see, that's why they trying to take over that shit. Like uptown is the key to the city
Right.
itself. It's closest to everything.
Close to everything.
Everything got to touch right there before it go anywhere. Everything got to get tested right there before it go anywhere.
This city knows what's going on. They know the plan. They know the move.
Why everybody that gets successful leave?
It's like
I can answer that. The fucking quality of living is better elsewhere, boo.
that.
Like I just
One
came
man,
back
bro.
from out of town. I ain't touched a pot, a hole, nowhere. The businesses that you go to, they got their shit together, and then they got to go back to the airport, and I'm like, damn, I got to go back home.
Like once you become so successful, like you're gonna be moving around like that. Like you can't just stay stationed in New Orleans. It's too small.
Right.
It's too small and like.
Yeah, shit easy to happen too.
Yeah, like you gotta get the fuck like you be most successful on a regular tip elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like here, somebody gonna hate on you. Put it like that.
Right.
Like it's gonna be so much hate coming from your own.
Like I said, you got the currencies
spot.
and shit that says otherwise. However, is this for me? And I travel so much, I just know the quality of life for me
Right.
and what I'm looking for, and
The quality of
find
life
it.
be like, I ain't gonna lie. I've been all over the world, brother, and that shit just changed my whole perspective on just living. Period.
Right.
Like, I'm still New Orleans uptown hood, nigga, but internationally now I know better. Like certain shit, like I'm like, damn, dog. Like, it's been right there for us.
All these
Like
different countries,
yeah,
like
man. Like
it don't kill
they
you to
got
have to come back
way,
home sometime.
dog, they got way less. It killed. I be
Yeah,
want
come and get
like
one
a
second.
lot of the last tour we was on. I ain't want to come right back home. I wanted to keep working.
Where you was at?
The last place was Australia. That was like 3 years ago before COVID. Like we was coming from like actually the day they shut the country down, we made it home.
Damn.
Yeah,
Crazy.
What that shit was like?
Man, it wasn't like it didn't seem real to me out the gate. Like,
I was hoping y'all wouldn't get stuck out there.
listen, it wasn't like we wasn't really hearing about. Well, they was hearing about it, but
It didn't
man,
register.
we on tour. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit just like
Y'all
I'ma
took
say
it like a
this.
hurricane.
We was in New York doing the Colbert Report with John Baptiste.
Okay.
Shout out to John Baptiste. We won a Grammy with him.
Gang.
So shout out to the homie. But we was doing the Colbert Report, and in New York, that's what every country like damn near. If you flying in to the U.S., you flying into New York. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
a lot of Asians was coming through there, but they had masks on. Americans didn't have masks on.
But they do that anyway. You ever notice that?
I ain't not
Yeah,
at that
look,
volume.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
All of them had on.
man, all of them. I'm like, man, why all of them got masks on? Like, we ain't paying. But at this point, we about to leave out the country at the time.
Right.
We about to start the tour. That was the beginning of the starting the tour.
Right.
We went England, like UK, Australia, and Lebanon.
Wow.
And we were supposed to go to Lebanon, Tel Aviv, but
Who got the prettiest women out of all them?
well,
Out of all them places?
oh man. Oh man. Lebanon.
Lebanon?
Believe it or not, Lebanon.
What? What
But
they look like out there?
Australia, UK, all that shit.
What the Lebanon women look like?
What
Like
you mean?
Rihanna? What they look like?
Come on, man.
I was asking, like, what they
That's
look
Barbados.
Different.
like. I don't know. I never
But
knew
look,
what
it's a lot
Lebanon-
of women from all over the
She
world.
might look like a Marrero girl. Fuck, like, nah, I ain't
There's a lot
my
of
thing
women.
here.
There's a lot of women from all over the world, but Brazilian women and them I forget I see them all like they got their own airline too. They got the beautifulest ladies who work in
Philippines?
I
Turkey.
don't know if they Filipino. I think they Malaysian or something.
Oh, Malaysian. Yeah, they do. They do Malaysian.
Them some pretty women.
They don't want to be selling their hair.
Yes.
Malaysian hair. Be
Getting
buying that shit.
Them some beautiful women.
So,
Like
so if you had to move to any one of them countries,
I don't know. Croatia,
Croatia? Why Croatia?
The hot eight should have moved to the UK.
definitely.
Y'all hot like that in the UK?
Yeah, like we signed to a label in the UK, based out of the UK.
What?
The UK.
They bigger.
Called True Thoughts. So that's why we get the most of our friction over there. Like
who y'all ops is in the UK?
who our ops is?
Yeah.
Man, we run the UK to me.
So who y'all next up competition you would think in the UK? Nobody. I knew he was gonna say
They
that.
was running that shit. You ought to see the fucking
We run that
venues.
shit.
They was selling out big
And
ass
nothing like
fucking
when and how
venues.
they touched.
So why y'all come back? What make you want to come back here?
I mean, this home, like we won't stay at home, but I'm always ready to go meet. Like I be, like I don't like now. I don't have that many attachments for me to stay. You know
Honestly,
what I'm
it's more than that on
saying?
the
It was more
business.
like my family and shit, like my mom, my grandma and shit. But my grandmother died, so my mom's still there. She coming with me out the gate.
That's what
I'm just saying on the business tip, it is gonna cost so much to make that happen. But if
Yeah.
you can make that happen, they
But
would
like,
be
man,
in
ain't
a
no
better place.
like home though. Fuck all
Right.
Fuck
Man,
that.
Bring me on Josephine.
I ain't gonna lie.
Man, ain't nothing like
Them-
the city though, bro.
See,
we
seeing
can
you
see
at
all
them
the bad
uptown
shit.
second lines, like coming down like some of them historic streets you did, and me being a person that records second lines you did, like shit like soul touching or some shit you did
Son,
because
y'all must know, like, nigga be tweaking to come back and do that shit after we done just shined around the world. Man, we just put us up around the world. We world renowned.
right,
Now we better come home and cut up. That's the type of shit I be on.
right,
But the markets don't make sense.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's fucked up because I made a lot of money in my city first. You know what I'm saying? It just was over time, but like that money right there.
right,
But like the second lines, right? What killed me about it is these people be people of the culture. Meaning if we gonna represent the culture, let's say we gonna represent the culture in a concert or a festival or whatever,
right,
they gonna be there too.
right,
They become artists. The second line clubs and all that.
right,
You feel me? They know, like they really like if you ask, like if you go up on your price, like
Which the whole world has.
right,
if you love me like you say that, like it ain't about nothing.
right.
Them people out there gonna pay for that before your own people.
Eggs went up, gas went up,
That's
milk
who paying
went
your
up.
bill.
Right,
Like when you go on that road and them your real fans,
right,
because they done looked you up and studied you, seen your story. See, the Hot 8 is a long story.
right,
I wasn't a part of the whole story. Them dudes started when I was a little kid.
right,
You know what I'm saying? But me working my way up to being a Hot 8 now, like in a story, it's just like it matches what I've been through and I've been around.
right,
Like I seen that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all the, like them horror story, that shit be fuck, man. So many like that uptown.
right,
Like great man, it's talent all over that bitch.
right.
You feel me? Like uptown is like, bruh, I know some of the most talented dudes in the world.
Name a talented musician that you feel like that don't get the credit that they deserve in the city. One in particular, as you could think of.
Damn. And then it's like, it's so many to me,
Just one.
but I'm trying to think.
They got.
Shamar Addy.
And why you say that?
Because I know what he feel. I know how he feel. Like it don't like everybody don't take to him the same. Like at first I didn't take to him. It took me years. And then I really had a real conversation with dude like, I fuck with home.
Right.
Like, I get it. Just gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, to go into detail about it, like, fuck, dude playing that fucking trumpet. Like, point blank, I don't give a fuck with the trumpet, rap, how he make music, how he move. Man, dude work hard. Dude go get it with no resources, you heard me?
And he appeal in the community.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man,
saying?
like,
At the
dude
same
gotta,
time.
like, you know, everybody, like I told Ken, like, you know, man, any one of us, like, start studios and all that shit, man, we need a, yeah, come on, man. Holla at Shamo, holla at, you heard me? The engineers could come in. Certain other people with certain expertise can still come in.
Right.
But, man, go, like, you know, this dude I was playing a gig with before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It makes sense.
It's
We
the
gotta support each
it's
other.
the transformation of the
You heard
culture.
me?
you heard me?
Like, I know I could go to any band event in the city and walk to the door. If the person don't let me in, I can tell a band member, man, tell them to let me in.
Right.
They gonna let me in.
Right.
I'll never do that no more.
Right.
Ever. Like, I never really done it from the beginning. Like, everybody talk about the days with Hot 8 and Patio 7 to 9, right? Man, big man, and never let me in. The first time we went, he ain't let us in because he ain't know us as a brass band. It was when I started with the Troop.
Right.
I'm an original member of the Troop. Like, we started that band together.
Right.
But He never let us in. So, all right. Next time we catch business somewhere, tell him like, man, tell him let us in the, patio. We want to hear y'all playing shit. Like, go back. He still ain't let me in because he didn't know who we was. Man, I ain't never went back to that bitch.
Right.
Like, it only take like once or twice for me, like, I don't want to use my stroke.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to support your shit. Because, like, if I want to go into something, I'm going to pay for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel with me. Like,
Right.
if you don't want to pay to see me, pay to see my band play, you ain't supportive of me, so why should, like, you know what I'm saying?
And I think a lot of people in the city, I think they feel like when you from here, it almost feel like you almost like you for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
you
how,
not
and
you,
dog, it's so
you for
fucked
me.
up because
You
it's
did
like on the street for free.
why would me charge me? You did
Listen,
like
on the
I wouldn't
street-
charge me.
on the street with one set of people paying for us to take the street with them.
Right.
Man, we get so many people to come to that second line. Why is that, though? Like, think about it.
The whole business part of it is fucked
The
up.
business part of it is total fuck up. But what we doing, like, we don't must know what we must doing. Like, we providing our own people with jobs every week.
Right.
Man, they got people
Go ahead.
who live to go to a second line. Like, that season makes so much money. Man, people from all over the world now, for real,
Right.
coming and just to come to a second line.
And they ain't just coming to see the band no more.
What they coming to see, though? Like, real talk, like,
See, tell me this, because we talk about this a lot. How you feel about the fucking takeover of the second line shorties, the scuffles, like people that's not even band members, right?
right.
And people sometimes come to the second line to see not just the band members, but these different known faces that's known for they dance moves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they not getting booked,
Right.
but they at every second line, supporting it, promoting it.
Yeah, they was out there doing that
dancing.
shit for free
Right.
because of the music.
And they out there every Sunday. So how you feel about people like that? Because they like some band members might look at them like, you know what I'm saying, like shun, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like most people in the culture look at them like culture barrels too. In a sense.
I'm gonna tell you like this: nobody around the world know how to dance to this
Right.
second line shit.
Right.
We would have to teach them. That's how.
And look, I
that's
always
how
say
so sacred this fucking
Dog.
culture is.
But hold on, let me cut both of y'all off. Right now, and you know this, we get paid to teach them this shit.
right.
Right.
And so right now,
Shorty was just overseas teaching
Right.
second line classes.
Right.
so now what's gonna happen to us when we keep on teaching these motherfuckers everything? I don't think
who
y'all
knows
know
that?
what's well, yeah. And we could travel to any given state right now, and once we get to any
It's
venue
certain
or
shit just seem
festival,
like they just not gonna catch on. Jazz
No,
was here
no,
before
my
hip
brother.
hop, before R&B, before all that shit, right? And guess what? We been dancing like that. You did like we been dancing like that.
But this ain't jazz, though.
They can't. But what I'm saying is, them dance moves, the way we move, they ain't never catch on to that.
shit, you know,
Listen,
they got
they
you know
catch
seen
on to
White
it.
Boy
Listen,
John out there.
Listen,
It's a
they
few
got
of them out
dudes
there.
Listen, they got people out there I've watched.
Son, they ain't never have the best dancer in the world was never a white man, bro. Never in no year.
What
In
you
no
mean the
year,
best dancer in the
bro. When Michael Jackson was the best dancer, they ain't have no white boy comparison. When you say Chris Brown and Usher, you don't talk about Justin Timberlake. You don't talk about fucking Bieber. No, nigga, there is no. When you talk about dancers, you talking about niggas.
Yeah, I get it.
Niggas is
I
the
get what you're
dancers.
saying.
Like there was never a white comparison. As
No,
long
they
as we've been
can't-
showing them our dance moves, there was never a white nigga that you could say could out dance the top black nigga in whatever point in time in the fucking
But
world.
look, they
Listen,
won't.
but
You
if
won't
he-
outdance him.
If he grew up under a black way, why not?
He still. When has it happened in history? And even
It happens
even
all
in
the time,
basketball,
really
even in
frequently.
basketball, right?
What's
Even
gonna
in
happen
basketball,
is they gonna
look,
Elvis us.
Even in basketball, right? There's no point in history, right, where the best basketball player in the world was a white boy. Like it's just certain shit. You could show them how to do it. They just not gonna be. They just not gonna get the full download, my nigga.
I'm gonna show you once
It's
when it's
like
over
trying to
with.
put an iPhone 15 shit into
Now look, check
iPhone
this
10.
out.
But
Like
look,
the shit not
check
gonna
this.
download.
We both know of a band that's out of town, all white.
Right.
And if I gave you the MP3 and let you hear them, you won't
would
know
think-
that
yeah, you
because
wouldn't think.
I told you. But you ain't gonna know
But
that.
see, listen,
But I bet you I'm know they not hot eight.
listen. Right, for sure that. But that's,
I bet you
that's-
that.
But the
I
whole
can
city gonna
guarantee.
know
Well,
that. The whole city gonna know that. The whole everything where it come from gonna know that.
Right.
Because it's been a part of it so long.
Right.
What I'm saying is, those like people like that, like they came and did their work because it
Right.
was open to the public. They came and did their work, meaning they came and walked them second line.
Right.
And dance look crazy to us. But you don't know the world looking at us like this is a crazy dance.
Right.
I fought him for that too.
Listen, the second line thing,
I'm
it's
definitely.
never about the best dancer. It's always about how you could get everybody to dance to one beat like that.
Right.
Man, like, brother, like, it's not you. When we look at the sidewalk, that shit be looking like a fucking Million Man March type shit. Everybody moving to the same.
It do.
Feel what I'm saying? That's when you really got them. Like these bands out here now, they doing this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
Who the top bands out here right now, you think?
for real, like as a band, I gotta give TBC one of the top spots for sure. They the longest running band of original members.
Right.
Of more original members than most of the bands out here.
Right.
They're what I'm looking for, they're like they gel together, bro. They know each other. Like their chemistry. That's what I
Right.
was
The
looking
chemistry.
for. Their chemistry unmatched. You feel me? Big Six is coming into the same thing because they consistent. Sporty Brass Band. Them dudes coming. They something right now. I don't give a fuck how you look at the members of respect or however it go. They consistent.
Right.
The Truth, they do their shit, but you know what I'm saying? It's like they presence, what I know they could be, they ain't stepping out into it.
Right.
It's like it's a fight. All of them in a fight with each other
Right.
for something. You gotta understand, man. Every brass band has its own unique style.
Right.
Man, nobody could ever do what the Reaper did.
Right.
Give a fuck. How it go? You can mimic it. You can't duplicate that.
Right.
Dudes knew each other. Them dudes did that shit for 30 plus years. You know what I'm saying? It's something you have to know and learn. Like before you even must start doing this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So same with the soul rappers, same with like they got so many bands out here that's doing their thing in so many different corners.
Right.
The key to that shit is to be able to do all that shit in one thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the amazing part of our music. Our people don't listen to it. We listen to the beat. The grooves and the sounds, it's like really listening to 102.9.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On Sunday or something. You heard
Right.
me? Like that's how the bands be coming with that music.
Dog, I'm gonna tell you one thing here before we wrap this shit up. There's one thing I gotta get out, okay? On Sunday, when you doing your fucking thing, right?
Right.
And you like y'all out there, bro, that shit feel like church. Like that shit have a real feeling of like church, dog. That shit feel like and like when I used to call in from work, I used to be like, man,
Playing song.
fuck that. You hear me? Like, I'm about to call in. I'm not going. You hear me? Like,
Right.
to call them bitches, look, I'm sick. You hear? I'm going to fucking second line.
That's what it is,
Dog,
brother.
that shit used to feel. I used to tell my manager, like, look, dog, I got to get that shit in my system because I don't go to church. This is closest feeling. I get to church. I'm with people. You don't have all the shooting and shit like you used to. Like they used to, like in the past. Like, you ain't gonna really have that no more.
They
It'd be
starting
more
to distract it from the music. Like the music, what makes the second line, bro.
facts.
Like without, like if you scratch the band of a second line, that's just a parade. Nobody ain't going to that shit.
Right.
It's time to start doing
You
that.
know what I'm saying? Like that DJ and all that floats and all that shit, they really need to take that shit out of a second line parade.
Wow.
We ain't trying to go up St. Charles. We trying to go up Galvez.
Right.
We're trying to go in the hood. We're trying to go on our block and dance on a fucking porch with my partner that lost his life. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Salute the people that, you know, molded us into who we are type shit.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying? Playing the fucking dirge past the gravesite, paying respect to the dead. Like, we don't want to go up St. Charles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We won't
this
get
shit
paid.
is a spirit, dude. Like, our music is so powerful. Like, nobody could deny this music.
Right.
So, whatever it is about it, brother, is undeniable. All the bad man keep doing your shit, and like I'm gonna keep rocking. We in the building, straight up. Like we the big boys for real. Like
You heard it from the fucking horse's mouth. This was a crazy podcast. We really got deep into a lot of shit, especially with him. So we know you gotta have him back on.
I'ma come back.
Because he really held back.
Yeah, I know, and I did too. He did because you know what I'm saying.
'cause I don't
Just
really
respectfully,
want- you
because
know, I don't really want to disrespect nobody, step on nobody's toes, or make nobody feel no type of way.
I think it's an open conversation that still need to
Yeah.
be had, but I think y'all should have it together
Yeah, we all should, and it's like
on tape.
you know, I'm not a grudgeful person. Like, so if we had any differences and I see that you know, like certain, like if I see you a certain way, I'm gonna move away from you.
Right.
Like I know, you know what I'm saying. Like in the brass band world, it's really messed up. I don't know what we could do to fix it, but all I can do right now is just keep doing my shit, popping my shit.
right. We gonna fix it. We gonna fix every
Yeah,
conflict
we
in the
get it
city
poppin', though.
through conversation, dog.
I would love to.
Because once you talk about something, not in no messy way, but just in a, you hear me, like just, you know, just in a real way, you did, like, that's God. Anything that's real is God. And you can't manipulate what God put in place.
For real,
You can't
dog.
manipulate
For real.
this. This is Benjimanzroom podcast, episode 12.
12.
12, you heard? We moving, you heard me? We moving, you dig?
Big
Dog.
Big boys.
Great conversation, you heard
Make
me?
sure y'all do us a favor. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. Make sure y'all drop a
I always forget
comment.
to say that, you heard me?
Support live music.
Black.
Pay the band.
Yeah,
Pay the
band.
Get a drummer something.
Pay the band, dog.
Get a fucking drummer something. Fuck.